Hi guys, White Witch 110 here. It has been a cold to cool day here in Ottawa. Fall has definitely made its way back, unfortunately. We've had clouds off and on, and this morning actually could have done with a winter coat. That's how chilly it was. But hopefully summer will make a return. We're here tonight to hear another installment of Back to BC. So let's get going. Arriving back earlier than expected, the men ask what happened. That friend of yours was there, Scott. She had a conversation in the bathroom with someone. What did she say? Scott was tired of Sally running her mouth. Well, apparently she feels that Abigail is too young for you and is planning on your marriage to fail by the end of the year. Nicole started. At which time she'll swoop in and nab you for herself. Melody completed the sentence. He stepped up. That isn't going to happen. Scott pulled out his cell phone. Abigail placed her hand on his. Don't bother. You'll only be playing into her hands. She doesn't know I was there. He put his phone back into his pocket. Scott didn't want to ruin this pleasant evening. Later, alone in their room, Scott came to Abigail tenderly. Gently, he took hold of her waist, moving her body into his. She smiled, closing her eyes, appreciating this moment like she never had before. A soft sigh escaped her lips. His fingers tipped her face towards his. Scott whispered, I love you. Abigail reached up to kiss him. Slowly their lips met. The pleasure was gratifying. Passion rose gradually as they relished each movement. Another night of bodies shared. Scott was at the radio station in the morning, giving yet another interview. Welcome, Scott Wilson. There is a rumor that you're engaged to be married. Is this true? The DJ inquired. Yes, it is. Well, congratulations. Who is the lucky lady? Abigail Brooke. He can't help but smile, speaking her name. Where did you meet her? He asked. Here, in BC. How long have you known each other? We met at this time last year. Abigail and her family came out to a gig at a venue her uncle works for. He explained. Must be a very special woman. Yes, she is, Scott said. His next stop was the local TV station for another interview. Good morning, Scott, the TV host greeted him. I hear congratulations are in order. Who is the lucky lady? The personality asked. Scott went about giving the identical information as he did at the radio station. I believe we have a photo of the two of you. A photo flashed up on the screen. Beautiful picture. Yes, it is. Her cousin James took it for us. He's a very talented photographer. He'll be taking our wedding photos. Soon, Abigail joined him in interviews. This was the beginning of her new life. She wasn't minding it. Sitting in the living room at home, Scott asked, How was your first interview? I enjoyed it. I figure this way the truth is out there, coming directly from us. Excellent way to look at it. Never thought of it like that. Hang on. Sorry about that. There was no reason to experience that anymore. Every morning, she'd be waking. It doesn't make sense. Scott had never thought of it that way. Every morning, she'd be waking up beside him as his wife. That word created a warmth inside her, even more so saying husband. Nicole had been very busy getting things ordered for the wedding. Her vision of the day for Abigail was soft and romantic. Scott had requested to sing a song for his bride. Nicole playfully joked, saying she might be able to fit it in. 2 days before the wedding, the family watched a vehicle they didn't recognize park in the driveway. "Who's that?" Nick asked his brother-in-law. "I have no idea. Maybe they're lost. I'll go see." Stepping outside on the veranda, anger came quickly to Rob. It was his sister, Abigail's mother. "What are you doing here? You said you weren't coming." His words were quick and sharp. "That's a wonderful greeting for a sister you haven't seen in years. Am I not allowed to attend my daughter's wedding?" She came closer to the steps. "Frankly speaking, you aren't. I think you should turn and leave. You aren't welcome in my home." "I think my daughter would feel differently." She stood her ground. "Darlene." It was Nick. Rob turned. "I'll leave you to it. If it gets too much, let me know. I have no problem kicking her ass off my property." He continued inside. Speaking to Nicole and James, their father told them, "Keep your cousin away from the window. Her mother's here." "Aunt Darlene? Why is she here?" James asked. "For your cousin's wedding. Your uncle's speaking with her." Nick blocked her entrance. "What's the real reason you're here?" He confronted his ex-wife. "I'm here to see our daughter marry. It certainly isn't because of you." She moved up a step. "That's far enough. You told her you weren't coming." Nick crossed his arms. "I changed my mind. The business I had to attend to was canceled," she explained lamely. "It's better if you leave. She doesn't need the drama." He continued to glare at her. Scott came across the driveway. "Morning, Nick. Is Abigail inside?" "Yeah, go on in." "And you are?" her mother asked. Before Nick could warn him to say nothing, he introduced himself. "My daughter does have great taste in men." Darlene looked him over like a piece of meat. "Keep Abigail inside." The tone in Nick's voice was stern. Scott made his way just as Abigail's phone rang. "It's my mom," she said, looking at the screen. "Mom?" "Abigail, sweetheart, come outside and say hello. I came all this way for your wedding, but your father and uncle won't let me in." Darlene sounded wounded. "I told you to leave her alone," Nick shouted. "I don't take orders from any man," she retorted. Abigail appeared in the doorway. "Mother," is all she said, moving to the top step. Scott was directly behind her for support. "Hello, darling. Come give me a hug." Darlene extended her arms. "Scott, can you go inside with Dad?" Scott gave her shoulder a squeeze and then walked away with her father. "Tell me why you're here," Abigail said, with the family inside listening intently. "For your wedding, Abigail. Can't a mother attend her daughter's wedding, her only daughter?" Darlene gave a hurt expression. "Save that look for someone else. You never gave a shit. Why now?" "I know why. Because you want the spotlight. You want them all to hear how far you've traveled for your daughter." "Well, it doesn't work that way. This day is for Scott and me. You have nothing to do with it." Abigail pointed out. I had my life to live. You are old enough to take care of yourself. It's because of me you're as strong as you are. Darlene believed her words. Bullshit. It's because of my father I'm as strong as I am. Abigail, you don't remember all the times we spent alone when he was gone days on end? Darlene said, desperately trying to get her daughter on her side. I remember, but I also remember it's because of him we had a roof over our heads. She glares at her mother. I thought he would make something of himself and have others do that dirty work on long hours. That didn't happen. He's lazy. Abigail's anger peaked. Don't ever call my father lazy. Do you understand me? She was disgusted. Darlene shook her head. You are so much like him. And that's why you couldn't wait to leave me. I was happy when you left. I didn't need to put up with how fake you are. I don't want you in my life. Scott walked out onto the veranda. My dear, could you talk some sense into my daughter? Her smile had devious thoughts behind it. My fiancé doesn't want you here. He placed his arm around Abigail. In frustration, her mother acted out. I don't know what you see in her. She's going nowhere, just like her father. That's why that nice boy Tom left her. Changing her tone. You both need a real woman. What do you mean that's why Tom left? What do you know about that? Abigail is shocked and confused. He called me when he got home last year. He told me he gave you another chance to make the relationship work, and you didn't want it. He came all that way. He was so upset when he called. I had told him where he could find you, because you certainly weren't with me. You stupid bitch. Abigail turned to Scott and her father. It wasn't me that put the family in danger. It was her. She pointed towards her mother. How could you do that? The man was upset, Abigail. He loved you so much, Darlene said. That man raped me. That's how much he loved me. You have no idea what I went through in that relationship. No idea. It took everything Abigail had not to jump forward and smack her mother across the face. What did you have to do with him? She demanded. I chose him for you. I made sure you met. You didn't think that was a chance meeting, did you? Oh, my dear girl. Her mother laughed. I hate you. I wish you weren't my mother. You have no idea what I endured because of you. No, don't say a word. Just get out of here. Abigail turned, burying her head in Scott's chest. Her uncle was beyond kicking his sister off his property, but Nick stopped him. Listen. Scott spoke up. I see one woman standing here. Darlene cocks her head, smiling. It's my Abigail. She is miles above you. I don't appreciate what you're putting her through just before our wedding. Matter of fact, any day I won't appreciate it. You've put her through enough. In that split second, he thinks of what he did, then dismissed it. I want you off this property. He holds Abigail tighter. This isn't your place to do that. This property belongs to my brother. Rob speaks up. Get the hell off our property. Now. I've watched you destroy enough lives throughout your life. All to get what you want. Well, not this time. I want you gone. And never contact us again. For once in your life, think of someone else but yourself. You took so much away from me, And my daughter. You can't save face. You've already embarrassed yourself. I give Abigail the love and encouragement a true parent does. I'm not asking, I'm telling you, leave. Nick waits for her to go, standing firm. Abigail, you can't allow your father to speak to me like this. See, this is why I left him. No. You left him because you seen dollar signs in Spencer. I want you out of my life for good. She looked behind her to see the entire family. I have people that love me and have my back. They are there when I need them. You have no place here. Abigail feels strength from within her grow as she stands up for herself. You were never there for me. Darlene turned, but not before hurling one last sling. You'll all regret pushing me away. Don't come to me when you need a helping hand. She continued to her vehicle. Turning the key, she revved the engine and sped off, spewing gravel into the air, narrowly missing the family. I've dealt with her bullshit all my life. It felt good to say that. It's been years coming. Rob hugs his niece. Thank you, Abigail. I feel a weight lifted. I'm free, Abigail states. Let me check on Tom. They were all exhausted by the height of emotions. It wasn't long after dinner that everyone said goodnight. She's a piece of work, Scott said, sitting up in bed. It's because of her I met you. Abigail leans over and kisses him. She wouldn't have come west otherwise. Then I thank her for that. Do you think she'll stay away? I'm sure we won't see her again. You realize she was hitting on you. Yes, I'm disgusted that your mother would do something like that. She'll never change, Abigail said. They call it a night and sleep lovingly, experiencing a calm warmth. The day of the wedding had arrived. Nicole and James were busy preparing things outside. The gazebo was adorned with chiffon drapes from the center of the ceiling to the outward edge. The pillars were wrapped in the material as well, with large, pure white roses, snaking around them. The lights Scott had put up last year glowed warmly under the delicate material. Lanterns edged the dock. A small table with space for a license and pen was off to the side. Wooden folding chairs encircled the gazebo for the family and a couple of friends. The veranda was decorated with the same material and roses in various sizes. Each table was covered with burlap edged with lace. The centerpieces were a combination of black lanterns and hurricane lamps. They were also placed safely on the wide banister for more ambient lighting. Chiffon panels slung back at the end in front of the veranda, appearing carefree. Scott stood alone in the apartment, looking at his gray tailored suit. As he dressed, he rehearsed his song to Abigail. He sung it 1,000 times, but of those 1,000 times, this was different. He had a slight case of nerves, but it was good-feeling nerves. As he slipped his jacket on, there was a knock at his door. He opened it. "Nick, come in." He stepped aside. "All ready for the day?" Abigail's father asked. "Yes, very much ready. Just going over my song for Abigail." "It sounded great," Nick said, walking over to the window. "Is this where you would watch her from?" "Yes," he blushed. "Always made me feel relief knowing she was safe at home." He joined Nick at the window. Is there anything you'd like to say? Just one thing. He turned toward him. Keep her happy. Make sure there's no more pain in her life. Love each other deeply, always. And especially for you two. Think before you speak. He smiles. Yes, that especially. Scott gazed out the pane of glass. I've wanted her from the first conversation we had. He bows his head with a soft laugh. She's my breath of fresh air. I will always be by her side. Always, he assured Nick. And I think we'll leave it there for this evening. Tomorrow night we will have the wedding. Thank you to my YouTube family for coming by to listen to another installment of this story. The second in the ones that have been very special to me. I do appreciate each and every one of you. Those are honest words, believe me. Not just lightly taken. And to anyone coming in to see what I'm doing, listen to the story, thank you very much. Please, while you're here, feel free to check out any of my other videos. If there's anything there that you like, give it a thumbs up, drop me a comment, and share any of them out with family, friends, neighbors, co-workers, anyone you think might be interested. While you're here, consider subscribing, and if you do, take the extra step and click the notification bell so that you'll know the next time that I upload. Okay, I thought I was going to have to yell at a cat, but no. Hubby is asleep. Snoring, asleep. The kitties got into a glass that we had bought for the, was it the Olympics, Winter Olympics, when they were in BC. And they had stuff all over the place. That's what we came home to. I seen it on the cam, and I was like, oh my gosh, what the heck. But they've all eaten, and Miss Pearl is doing somersaults, playing with her piece of jute rope. The other ones are, I guess, is sleeping on the condo. The other two must be in the hallway, likely. Well, as I said, thank you for coming by. Greatly appreciated. I enjoy spending this time with you. Have a great rest of your Friday evening. And to my American subscribers, have a great Memorial Day weekend. I believe it's this weekend. Keep safe and enjoy yourselves. And until the next time. Oh, also remember to check my video. Bank on it. Let me know how much you think I'm going to have in that bank, and you'll have a chance to win the watch. I believe it's a woman's watch. So until the next time, ciao for now.